Hi guys, welcome to another podcast. Welcome to another episode of Kwentos with Hannah, but this time season 2 with a guest.
Yeah.
A beautiful guest. This is Claudia Barreto, and I felt like it would be perfect to start this podcast with a friend that I've known ever since I was small.
Yes.
I don't think people know that
Yeah.
about
I
us.
don't think they do. Or they might. We'll never
Or you
know.
might. You might be an OG and you know, but if you don't know who Claudia is a singer-songwriter.
Stop.
She is now in college, actually. So she is doing both of that.
Yes.
And would you like to add more to your bio?
What else is in my bio? Honestly, those are just my two most significant facts about me. That I go to school and I like to work.
She is a mental health advocate as
Yes,
well.
yes. Okay, that's right. You know me better than I know myself. Oh no.
Yeah, she has a podcast as well.
Yes, I do.
What's
That's
it
crazy.
called? Tell us about it.
So I have a podcast, but I just started, so it's still, we're still trying to make it better than it is. It's currently very raw. But it's called Mind Games by Claudia, and it's also an initiative to spread awareness on mental health. But yeah, we haven't really gotten to talk about much deeper topics yet. I still have yet to do that and find people that I can talk to who can really go in depth.
Yeah.
But that's the plan.
Yeah.
So for now, I guess I'll just guest in your podcast.
She'll just guess. Gosh.
No.
what a-
I don't mean it that way.
I'm kidding.
I don't mean it that
Okay,
way.
so I have some notes here because Chloe is... I don't know why you're nervous.
I
You
know,
should not be.
I'm feeling so shy.
But it's okay. We have our notes here, so she does not have to be shy. But
Yes.
I wanted to ask, do you want to share with them how we first met?
Oh my goodness. Is this the monkey bars? So from what I remember, at the time you were already a gymnast and you were in the monkey bars showing off. Looking at me like a little side eye, like
I saw
look
her.
what I can
definitely
do.
saw her.
Like look what I can do. And I was really young at the time and I couldn't do what she could do. So like inside I was like, oh, this kid, like I don't know how we became friends.
But eventually, I think
You were very
know.
different too when you were young.
I was so annoying.
You were not annoying. You
I
were just
was-
different.
I think I was so sure of myself, like to a fault.
Well,
think-
honestly, you were a kid, so that's how it should.
That's
be.
how it should be. That's true. But I think from my perspective, okay, I was like, I entered,
Wait, hold on. Imagine being a kid and being introspective. Like, I'm not
and I've been in the learning tree my whole life. So I was like,
Yes.
I know this is my
territory.
territory.
I own this place. These monkey bars, mine.
Again, I was a really mean kid. You know that. We were mean girls.
We were mean.
We were the mean girls.
Together, we were mean. Like, admittedly.
Bad. But anyway, before Claudia came around, I was the mean girl. And I see this new girl walk by. She's pretty. She has like a really nice outfit on because we didn't have uniforms.
Yes.
And then my yaya starts talking to the other yayas. And anak yan ni Marjorie
Yeah.
Barreto. I was like, who is Marjorie Barreto?
Yeah.
If you can't beat them, you gotta join them.
Yes.
So that's what we did.
Yes.
We joined forces.
Yes. We were
We're
like
different.
6
Trust.
years old.
We're really different now. Please believe us.
we were 6 years old. Like, take it easy.
Yeah, you know how like in movies, everybody has that redemption phase where they change and
Yes.
become a better version. That we've had that. I think. I'd like to think.
I'd like to think we've had that.
I'd like to think we've had that.
It's making noises.
It's making what?
It's making noises.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
You wanna hear it?
Oh. We went to the same school, but we also lived in the same compound.
Yeah.
So we lived in Capitol Golf, and we called each other the Capitolians.
Oh, we were so
It
cute.
was so fun. Every day at 4 p.m., we'd go out,
Yeah.
and we just know, okay, we're gonna play something. We don't know what it's gonna
At
be.
4 p.m., it always
At
had
4
to be
p.m.
after school work.
After school,
After
right before
everything.
dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the best time of my life,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I only have fond memories of that time.
Exactly. Me too. I can't think of like
One
a bad time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Can't think of a bad time, but I remember, like, if there's one of the things that we always used to do, it was like performances for the titas, and it would be me, Nina,
Did I perform?
Thea.
Do you remember me
But
performing?
we'd practice with you, but
And
she
then-
would not sing. Like, she literally just stand beside
Yeah,
us, and then when
yeah.
it's time to perform, she'd just stand, like wearing our outfits, all made up, like just stand.
You know what else is so interesting about that? Because I think in person, I could be shy, but a lot of the time I also just know how to have a conversation with anyone.
Yeah,
But when it comes to singing, like I'm just so shy.
yeah,
Like I feel so weak
yeah.
and so insecure. But maybe it's also just because of how much I love it.
Yeah, because you value the performance.
Yeah.
And you're like, if I'm not gonna give it like 100%, like might as well just
Yeah.
not at all.
But I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Ever since.
But, and this is what I wanted to bring up before we introduce our question for the day.
Okay.
I knew you when you were young, when you were, still figuring yourself out, preschool. And then when I moved out of QC and we both did our own high school phases.
Yes, and I moved out of the compound too.
Yeah.
So my life
So
kind of changed.
we both had like a lot of space from each other.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really connect much, and parang it was just like
we didn't.
it's not like we meant to do that.
No,
it's
no,
just
not
it
at
so
all.
happened that we
It was
ended
just
up.
life like changed for both of us.
Yeah.
Like we went to different schools.
Yeah.
We
Different
had
groups of friends.
Yeah.
Just life happens.
Yeah.
And then we reconnected. I think it was like maybe like 3 years ago or something. And I could definitely say that I saw a shift in you. Like in just the way that you were more purposeful with the way that you did things, and like a bit more strong-willed. You're like, okay, I kind of know what I want.
Yeah.
That's why we decided on talking about purpose today.
Hi, Hannah. I'm Charina from the Philippines, and I met you last 2018 before my birthday. But today, can we make kwento about finding our purpose in this difficult season? With all that's been happening not only in the Philippines but also around the world, it's very easy for us to get consumed and be overwhelmed with worries, fear, and doubts. And as someone who loves to encourage others like how you do and me, it's not an easy task to just say to others things will get better soon or everything will be okay. I hope you can help me talk about that. And thank you. I hope you're safe always, and God bless you, Hannah.
Oh, what a sweetie.
Sweet. Thank you, Charina, for your question. I always feel like I'm in like a beauty pageant every time I say that. Thank you for your question.
Thank you for your question. We were supposed to film this start of January.
Yes.
And in the past 3 weeks, I just learned so much. And it's just perfect timing.
Love
that you
that.
came here today.
Oh my gosh.
And when we were talking about making this happen, it was last year, December. And so much has changed.
What's the experience of finally knowing, like, oh, this is what I meant to do? Because as I mentioned, diba, you kind of had that shift.
Yeah.
Like, what happened in that? Or
Honestly,
what did you feel?
like, I get so afraid to admit that I learned so much and I grew so much as a person the past year, 2020, because I feel like it's just so unfair that it was good for me.
Yeah.
It is. Like,
Yeah.
it's so unfair that it was good for me and that I had the time. Like, I could use that time to be better. Because not everyone had that experience.
True.
But that's the truth. Like,
Yeah.
that's how it happened for me. And like originally when the whole quarantine started and everything started happening, I was so afraid that I was going to that my mental health was going to steadily decline. But I think the complete opposite happened.
Wow.
I needed to block off a lot of the noise. And I started to read more. I started to write more. I started to think more. I mean, I was already always
that.
thinking.
Yeah.
But like it became more purposeful.
Yeah.
Like there was an intention for my thoughts, the things that I was doing for myself became fulfilling. Because these were things that I would do in the past but I couldn't reap the rewards.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, I want to check this off my checklist. Like, read, have my coffee,
It
work
was more
out.
like a task instead of like,
So,
I'm doing these.
I wasn't getting the grace that I was supposed to be getting from doing these things. I wasn't enjoying it.
Yeah.
I wasn't enjoying the process. I just wanted to be at the end goal. And then because everything slowed down, it became like, okay, I have the time. Like, I will read for as long as I want.
Yeah.
I will listen to this podcast without spacing out, like full attention. And when I worked, when I wrote songs, when I wrote essays or poems or whatever, I was just present.
Yeah.
So the feeling of knowing my purpose, like, I just feel it feels like you're present.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
Parang you're here.
I'm here.
Yeah. I love that.
And like at this current moment, all I have to worry about is to do well where I am right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
So
is
like right
so
now,
good.
I feel more present right now talking to you. Before, I would probably just be thinking about
Spacing out.
yeah. I'd probably just be thinking about what people will think of what I'm saying. But now it's more of like, I just want to be here.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. And I like how you mentioned like the timing of everything is just perfect. Because I've also started reading like Purpose Driven Life, and I just gave her the book.
I know.
But it has been something that has been like changing my life. Just because, as you mentioned, when you are doing something like with a bigger end goal, not just the smaller end goal is to like drink my coffee or to write my book or to like read or whatever. Like all of these are like menial tasks, and if they don't amount to something bigger, it's like, what did I achieve at the end of the day?
But my mistake was not thinking that those were small victories. I was doing
check.
I was doing what I had to do, but I was still so hard on myself.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't taking into account that these things, like the small things are necessary.
Yeah.
You might as well enjoy it because you're gonna go through it anyway.
That's so true.
So I wasn't present ever. And I mean, like, if you were close to me during that time, like, you'd see me in school and I'm like shaking my leg. Like, you can tell that, like, each task was just something I wanted to get over with.
Get over with.
And it shouldn't be like that. Like, you should have a goal, but you should also allow yourself to just, as long as you're aware that you're doing the things that you have to be doing, you don't have to worry about not reaching the goal, because you will.
Yeah, you will eventually.
The consistency will pay off.
And I think that's a really important word to use, the grace. Because I think you and I are the same when it comes to that, is we're very hard on ourselves. I mean, I don't know about you, but I consider myself a definite perfectionist.
Yes, I am.
And the problem is, I treat people around me with grace. I treat them with kindness. I'm not hard on people that are around me. But when it comes to me,
yes,
I am just so hard on myself.
Yes.
And it's like, I would never treat somebody else the way I treat myself.
Yes.
But I'll do it.
Yes.
And I'll say, Hannah, I beat myself up about not like finishing my tasks or whatever. But for what? It's like, at the end of the day, if I finish my tasks, what? Am I going to be like a superhuman? Like,
exactly.
Do I get an award?
Exactly.
Like, who am I trying to please? Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So I love that. Like, we should have grace for ourselves. And when I was at Hillsong, I had so many mentors around me, and I didn't even ask for help. Like, and I had so much access to people that I could ask help from. But when I decided to ask for help, my mentor told me, you know what? Whatever you're going through, it's hard, and that's fine. Like, it's okay to go through something that's difficult, and it's okay to not know the answer.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I feel like, oh, something's wrong because I don't know the answer. I'm 21. I'm not going to know the answer to everything that I'm going through.
Yes.
So it's good to ask yourself, what am I going through right now? And do I not understand it? If I don't, fine.
Yes.
So
But that's another thing that really helped me be more purpose-driven. Like, I recognized that before I would keep a of things to myself. So
To
like you
yourself,
were
yeah.
saying, like you just wanted to get to the root of the problem and like just figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
But it's okay to ask for help.
Yes.
Especially when you can kind of recognize the people in your life that will make a significant difference.
True.
Because you also want to be reaching out to people that you know you'll learn from.
Yes. Gosh, I forgot what quote this was. I'll put it up here, but it's like whoever doesn't feed off of thousands of years of wisdom is living hand to mouth. That's the quote. So if you aren't living off of all of the wisdom that people have, and you're just kind of like figuring everything out by yourself, you're just living hand to mouth. You're living day by day. You're not making the most of the people that are around
It's
you.
amazing.
It is so.
Just this year, like my eyes just opened to like when I meet someone, it's like I just want to learn from you.
Yes.
And it's just that openness that also helps you stay motivated, stay inspired to do what you're doing, because it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're all feeling the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The things that make us different from each other are so small. The things that tear us apart, or the things that determine whether or not we're gonna get along, is so small.
So small.
So small.
But we relate on so many different levels, but we don't talk about it.
We don't.
Because we don't want to, or we think nobody else is going through it.
But like I was saying, like I always just say, that just be honest.
Yeah.
When you're whoever you're talking to, just be honest, just be
Yeah.
yourself. And I can't even explain the feeling of just being able to open up to someone and them being able to impart their wisdom, or not even
Yeah.
wisdom. Sometimes it's like an opposing view and your eyes just open.
I think it's also like, for me, it's like sometimes like the pride of thinking you don't know more than me, or
Yes.
you know what I mean. But it's like, it's not like I'm trying to think that.
Yes.
But we are, we are fallen people. We have those negative
That's the
thoughts
human
in our head. That's the
inclination.
human thing in our head, is to look at this person and say, okay, you're probably like younger than me. You don't have as much experience. What do you have to give to my life?
I know, exactly, but that's because you're in your head.
Exactly.
You're not existing out here where this
Exactly.
person is in their head too.
Yeah.
And they have their own thoughts. They have their own life. They have their own dreams.
And they've gone through things that you've never gone through.
yes.
And that you could learn from.
Yes.
Oh, it's so
And it
beautiful.
doesn't matter how different your lives are. Like I could be speaking to a teacher,
Yeah.
and certain aspects of her journey, trying to live her purpose, like can change the way I see
Yeah.
the way I'm living my journey towards my purpose.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. It's
Yeah.
just amazing to relate with people on that level.
Yeah. And to know that everyone is struggling.
Yes.
It's like no one has it figured out.
because we're all thinking about the same
Yeah.
things.
I don't know. Sometimes it feels good to just like sulk.
It does. There's a comfort in sometimes you find yourself really sad about
Yeah.
something, and there's like some people eventually feel comfortable in that place.
Yeah.
But you have to wake up.
Yeah.
You
I
have
mean,
to
I'm not
wake up.
saying like it's fine to feel the feelings.
Yeah.
You know, like it's fine to feel the feelings. And there have been times where I've just given myself, okay, today I'm just gonna give myself the time to just
Exactly.
understand what I'm going through and maybe be sad.
Yes.
But don't do it at the expense of like, you know, like you still have a purpose. You still have like things that you need to do to be
like
a
today,
human.
if you're sad today, it's like just don't think it's forever.
Yeah, exactly.
But today you can be sad.
Yeah, it's
you can be
fine.
lazy.
Yeah.
Today.
My only thing is, it just should not. I mean, what I try to say is,
Okay.
okay, I can give myself this like mental health day to like step back and be, you know,
Yes.
in my thoughts and my feelings, but I don't want it to ruin the day of anybody else.
Yes.
That's my thing, because for example, if today let's say I felt bad and I just canceled on you because I was like, I need this day off.
Yes.
That is putting somebody else under the burden of like my
Yes.
issues, which is I don't think that's right, unless I was like, hey Clau, I hope you understand.
Yes.
Today's really not
Yes.
okay for me.
Yes.
That is fine. Like if you're saying, if you are willing to express to someone what you're going through and you make them understand, but if you just, they come inside your room, you say, leave, I have a bad day today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Don't add on to what you're already feeling bad
Yeah.
about. Because
Yeah.
that's what happened to me, you know, like when I was younger and I was dealing with it pretty hard, like mentally, and I was sad. It manifested like it was, what came out was not the sadness but anger.
Anger. Yeah, that's actually crazy.
I was angry. I
Yeah.
was so frustrated. I had the shortest fuse. Like I would just, like, anything would annoy me. And it wasn't because I was actually angry. It was because I was sad.
Yeah.
And it made nothing better. It just, at the end of the night, I just feel extra worse that I was feeling the way I was, and I was terrible to other people.
You like, that is so true. Like,
And it's just, it's a vicious cycle. You have to come out of it.
Yeah.
You have to help yourself
Yeah.
also.
true.
Like, you know it's gonna make you feel bad if you shout at your sister, or if you respond to a friend in a mean way. Like, you know it's gonna make you feel bad. Just avoid it.
Yeah, just avoid it. Or even, like, just say, guys, today is not a really good day. Just
Yeah.
maybe don't push me so much. Like, I mean, even like, we're all, you know, open here and honest. As girls, during your PMS, good Lord,
but
I
that's
tell
why
my
honesty is so
I
important.
tell my family, I say, guys, this is my time of the month. I
Yeah.
might be a little bit more, like, annoyed than I usually am. So can you just be a bit more
Yes.
kind to me? Or, you know, like, it's just those little things make the biggest of difference when you are honest with people about what you're going through. But there was just one time I remember I entered my dad's room.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's funny, like, I live with, like, a motivational speaker, and yet I don't go to him sometimes for advice. It's just...
That's
I'm in my...
insane.
It's stupid.
A
It's
motivational
actually
speaker.
stupid. So
There.
I'm in my room sulking, and right beside me in the next door is somebody who's willing to pick me back up. And so I go inside my dad's room, and this time I actually was like, Dad will help me. So I enter my dad's room, I say, I'm so upset. He's like, oh. Obviously he knows that I'm kind of like, you know, like, up here already. And I'm like, Dad, I'm just so mad. He's like, why are you so angry? I'm like, I'm so mad at myself for doing that to Ate Ella or Kuya Donnie or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm so mad at myself for messing up today or whatever. And what he made it clear to me was that when we are so focused on ourselves, we cannot look at anybody else.
Yeah.
We cannot care about anybody else when we're so focused on ourselves.
Yeah.
We cannot even think about what God wants or what God wants me to do today or my purpose for today. If you're so inward. And when I find myself mad at myself, I'm so selfish.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so true.
For me, the realization, like, remembering that there are others and they're
Yes.
in their own heads, it makes the world feel so vast for me.
Yeah.
Like, it makes, honestly, like, it sounds so cheesy when you say, like, love yourself so you can love others, but like, it just opened up my life.
Yeah.
Being able to let other people in and having them open up to me as well.
Yes.
Like, the world feels so vast, and it's such a good feeling to remember that there's more out there than up here.
Yes, exactly. And it also makes you feel kind of small, which is good. Like,
I
it
love
humbles
feeling
you.
small.
Like,
I love
humbles
feeling
you.
small. Like, what I like to do is, I mentioned it briefly earlier, but I like to walk. And even, it only started this year when I started to really look around. Like, sometimes I'll even go on a walk without my earphones, like, just completely alone. No phone, no nothing. Just me, my feet. Like, it's a different experience because
Yeah.
people don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
They'll go for a run, they'll go for a walk, but they have to be listening to something. Just be alone. Like,
Yes.
every once in a while, even just once a week, just in solitude.
Yeah.
And it allows me to, like, look around, and sometimes I'll just be like, oh, the sky is such a nice shade of blue. Like,
But that's beautiful.
it's beautiful.
And actually, this is one of the questions that I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Because, I mean, as Charina mentioned, you know, there's so many things going around, like, typical
Yes,
things,
yes.
positive, negative,
Yes.
whatever. But how do you get yourself grounded? That's what I wanted to ask you. Because you can be so in your head, like, up there floating in the clouds, thinking of what if, when,
Yes,
why, whatever.
yes.
But to feel grounded again. And
Okay.
you mentioned, like, like walking. That's one of the things.
Yes, there are a lot of things that I do, but I think the best way to kind of like explain what it is that I really do, what I think has helped me the most, is just having structure. I love it. I love living a disciplined life.
Yeah.
So I try to, like, when I wake up in the morning, it's the same thing. I'm gonna have my coffee, I'm gonna read my book, I'll do a little bit of work, and then I'll have time for myself. But the walking is the most grounding experience for me, because it's exactly that. I like being outside and feeling like the world is so big and I'm so small, and everything that happens to me it's not targeted.
No.
It's not the world is mad at me. Who am I to think that the world is thinking of me?
Yeah.
Who am I to think that you're thinking of me?
Yeah.
You're probably thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
And it just kind of helps you remember. It's so freeing to remember that there's more.
There is so much more.
Are we making sense? Because
No, yeah.
I feel like
I super get you, because one of my things also to get me grounded is I go outside to my balcony. Like, this is already like a routine. I go outside to my balcony, I look at the stars.
Yes.
And I just look up at night, and every time I walk out of there and I just say, "Hi God," like, "good night," or whatever, I just start bawling my eyes out, because I just am reminded of, yes, how small we are, but at the same time, despite our smallness, He cares about us.
And you can do anything.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that the most amazing thing? Like, you and I, we can do anything we want.
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, like, we can achieve anything we want.
If we put our mind to it.
Exactly. So we're so small, and it's a good reminder to feel small.
Yes.
But also, like, because there's a higher power that loves you so unconditionally. It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
You have the support of the world to just do whatever it is you want to achieve.
Yeah.
Whenever I would wonder, like, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, is it being a singer? Is it doing this podcast? Is it going to school? Like, sometimes I doubt these choices. And then I remember, it's like, the things that have happened to me, the things that I've done, they have happened for a reason, because the desire was in my heart to do them. And that's enough. Like, just take it as it comes, as long as the desire is good.
Yeah.
And you're not hurting anybody, and it's noble.
It's the motivation, right?
Yes.
Of everything that you do. And that's what I love so much, is I've simplified my whole purpose in 2 words. It's to worship and to love. And
I love that.
It's so freeing to have a simple, straightforward goal.
I like that you say that, because to me, it's just to love.
I love that.
Right now, like, that's...
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to mention it, but now that you say it, it's like, I thought about it, and I was like, all I have to do is to love.
Yeah.
Like, people, the experiences that I'm going through, the hardships that I'm going through, even if it's hard, it's just like, love it, because whatever phase you find yourself in, just get through it.
Yeah.
Just
and enjoy it.
Just go through it, because you're
Yeah.
gonna look back at it and be like, that changed my life.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, like, it really does change your life if you just go through
In
it.
hindsight.
Like,
right?
stop numbing it.
Yeah.
Stop blocking it. Just let it happen.
And
Like,
enjoy it.
that's how I see things
Yeah.
now.
No, I completely like agree with you, because and what's crazy is, like, you know how, like, there are like 10 commandments, right? Like, God has, okay, don't steal, whatever.
Okay.
In the New Testament, Jesus actually simplifies it into 2: love God and love each other.
Yeah.
That's our purpose.
That's it.
That's it. And what's crazy, what's interesting though, is He doesn't say love yourself.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting?
That's interesting.
But in order for us to love God and love people,
We have to love
must
ourselves.
first love ourselves. Like, it's already
so that's the goal, and the solution is to love yourself.
Because if you're so caught up in
But it's so hard. Like, I understand what it feels like not to love yourself.
No,
like,
I completely
because
understand.
people like, years ago, when I was still not so receptive to other people's ideas, every time they say love yourself, I'm like, oh, of course I know that. Like, of course, like, I love myself. Like, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't love myself.
Yeah.
Because if I loved myself, then I would have realized all the things that I know now then. But I didn't.
Yeah.
Because I didn't love myself. I wasn't receptive to that. And I didn't like thinking that they knew better than me. It's like, no, I'm suffering. Like, I just wanted to, like you said, I wanted to sulk.
Yeah, I know.
I wanted to sulk and be sad and just...
So what got you out of it?
It was really just remembering that I could also prioritize myself. Like, it's okay to say no to invitations. It's okay to stay at home and be boring. It's okay
to spend a few hours with yourself.
Yeah, because before I was so afraid to let anyone down or disappoint people or make them feel bad or make them feel like I don't want to see them.
Yeah.
Or like, I was just thinking about other people, and then I remembered, I was like, but when I go to sleep at night, it's just me and my heart and my feelings, and they're probably thinking the same thing, and I'm the problem. You know, they're thinking about themselves. If I don't go out to see them tomorrow, they might not be as sad as I am that I'm not seeing them. They probably don't even care.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably like, oh, I'm gonna miss Chloe, but they're not thinking about it the
like,
way
oh
I'm
my
thinking
gosh,
about
this
it.
whole day
This person
she did not see me
yeah,
today.
like, I'm so hurt. Like, I miss her so much. It's like, no, they're not. If you say no, they'll move on.
Yeah.
They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking about themselves too.
Yeah.
So it was kind of that, like, just being able to think, okay, let's just think about me and, like, what I think will make me a better person for others.
That's so true.
This is for you.
That's
like,
so
this
true.
is for you. This is for me, for you, for my family, for my friends. Like, it's really the being receptive. Just listen.
Yes.
Learn how to listen.
Yeah. Because a lot of people can notice first than you. And especially when, like, it's the people closest to you, like my family or something, when they say something that I don't want to hear. It's like, that's... No. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not me or whatever.
Yeah.
But they really know you best because they see you at your most raw state, right?
Yeah, when you're not in your head, like those moments when you're unconscious, they see those moments.
Yeah.
But you know what I also say? That's why it's so special to have that bond. You know, like family knowing you that way, or even friends, like, because very few people in your life will get to see those moments when you're not so perfect.
Yes.
And for me, that's such a privilege. Like, that's such a gift
that.
because it's a gift to know someone that way. So, you know, like, sometimes, like, you know, I'll get into an argument with my siblings, and before I used to be so angry that they were the way that they were. Like, why are you like this?
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be like this. Like, thinking I was better. And then you kind of realize, like, wow, but you know what? Thank you for showing me, like, who you really are, because no one else knows this.
Yeah.
This is a privilege. Like, that means that our connection is so deep that you're unafraid to show me even the bad parts.
Yeah, that is so true.
That's like the most holistic way to love someone. To know that. To
And
know that
still.
that exists in you. To know, like, to know that, you know, that you are capable of not so good things. Because I'm capable of the same thing.
Yeah.
But, like, still, you know, like, the fact that you're showing me this, like, wow, what a privilege. Like, that means we're close.
Yeah, like, thank you for that. Right?
Yeah, like, thank you. And I'm gonna help you get better.
Yeah.
Like,
I think, actually, if there's one thing that I learned throughout this difficult season, it is to leverage on the fact that my family is there. And that we can actually work together.
yes.
Because I think, like, my family, and I know your family, we all grew up with ambitious parents, you know. They're like, no, reach high, like, get your goals
And at a
whatever.
very young age, like, we were making our own money.
Yeah, we were set,
like,
basically.
You were doing your own thing.
Yeah.
You're providing for yourself in different
exactly.
aspects. Like, from the
like,
beginning.
people think they're like, wow, your parents, like, buy you everything.
No.
I'm like,
No. No. It's that exactly. Like, you know, but also we've lived such a lucky life. I have
Yes.
such a blessed life because we were capable. We had the opportunities to work.
Yes.
The route that we took wasn't traditional.
Yes.
That was, we're so blessed.
Yeah.
But also it has its own challenges. Like, there are things that along the way that we had to learn on our own.
because we all have like
It
a
gives you-
foundation, a
Yeah.
basis,
Yeah.
which I think is something that we should take into account when considering your purpose, because maybe there are listeners that are maybe still figuring out like why am I here,
Yes.
like what am I meant to do. And I think the best way to start is to look at what's right in front of you, what's right beside you, what's your starter pack, you know what I mean?
Something more like specific to do.
Yeah.
And I always talk about it, always. Like, people are probably so sick of it, but just write it down.
Yes.
Or even write down the fact that you don't know what it is that you're going to do, or you don't know what your purpose is,
Yeah.
or you feel like life has no meaning. Or write it down on your
think
journal.
there's a beauty
Life has
in
no
that.
meaning.
Yeah.
Put that there, and then in 6 months look back and then think again, does it still have no meaning? Write it down again. Like, just write it down. Write it down
progress.
clearly.
Yes.
Be specific with your words. It's so powerful.
It is.
It's so powerful.
Because it marks, this is the beginning.
And
this is where we're starting.
I mean, like, and for me, in October 2020, I was looking through my old notes because I write on everything. I have like 100 million journals. But I also write on my iPad. I'll also write on my phone. Like, it's just everywhere. I'll take videos too.
Me
Honestly,
too.
I
Yeah.
talk to myself. Because
fun.
sometimes the thoughts are coming too quickly. It's like I have to
Yes.
record
Yeah,
myself.
yeah,
I can't
yeah.
write it down. Today is a recording day.
Yeah, she has secret vlogs. We'll see it soon.
No, we're not. We are not. But what I realized was, like, so it's January 2021, but October 2020, I read like a short poem that I wrote, and I was like, wow, how revealing of what I was feeling at that time, because I don't feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
And when I was writing it then, I still couldn't make sense of what I was feeling at the time. I didn't know that was what I was feeling. But now, looking at it from where I am now,
Yes.
it's like, wow, that's how I felt. Like, it's so revealing of where
It's
I
important.
was.
It's important to track your progress. I think that is one of the biggest motivations that I have to be better, is to look back at what I have recorded.
Remind yourself.
And to be like, wow, if in this short amount of time I was able to come from I have no idea what I'm doing, to even just saying, actually today I feel kind of intentional. Progress. And if you don't have that, I think, if you don't mark the beginning of something, I don't think you would know where you're headed.
Yes.
And so, yeah, for those people that maybe don't feel like as if they know where to start,
Yes.
start with where you are, like where you are right now.
Yes.
Mark it, record
and
it.
honestly, like, even if it's, but I haven't been doing anything for the past 6 months. I've literally just been watching Netflix. So what? Like,
Yeah.
write it down. Be like, I just watched Netflix for 6 months. That's all I did. That's the start.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's so important to be honest. Just tell the truth in everything that you
Where
do.
you are.
So even when you're talking to your journal and you're writing, just tell the truth. So if the truth is you're eating your life away, the truth is you're being lazy and watching Netflix only, that's the only task that you have for the day, or your only task for the day is showering and then wearing your pajamas again.
Write it down.
Just write it down, because it will reveal eventually what it is that you want to do.
Start with where you are, and don't be ashamed of it. Diba?
Yeah, don't be
That's so
ashamed. Just
important.
accept it, because that's
Yeah.
the truth. You can't run away from the truth. So just
Yes.
accept
That's
that.
true.
Just accept where you're at. Just be honest about it. And that honestly is so noble, because it's so hard to be honest with yourself sometimes, especially when you're already so used to self-loathing. Like, you were already like hating yourself like all this time. Like, you don't want to remind yourself of why you hate yourself.
Yeah.
But it provides direction. So just
And what I
do it.
love is, like, Dr. Caroline Leaf, one of my favorite neuroscientists, she says that like thoughts actually grow in your head, as in they're like plants. So if a seed is planted in your head, it will grow. And our bad thoughts, our negative thoughts, when they're planted in our head, and especially when we don't recognize that they were planted there, they will just grow unconsciously. They will just grow.
How do you think it can be, like, how can it
be dealt with?
reversed, like, these thoughts that grow in your mind?
What she says is the way that it should be reversed is first to recognize that it's there.
Yeah.
Because once you recognize that it's there, then it's weakened.
Yes.
Because it's consciously in your head.
Yes.
But if it's not addressed, if it's not touched,
it's growing.
It's gonna grow.
It's going to foster.
Yeah, and it's a negative thought that's gonna
No, you're
foster.
right.
It's gonna take up space.
You're right. But when you recognize it, now you're making the effort to.
Yes.
Yeah, stop growing.
Because if you say I feel this way, 100%, you're gonna not want to feel that way. Like, you know what I mean? When you say something, you're like, you don't want to admit that you feel that way. Like, for example, I feel I'm very anxious right now. If I say something like that, I know I don't want to feel that way.
Yes. So now you'll take the steps to not feel that way.
Exactly. But only then, when you admit that it's there. And the crazy thing is, as it continues to grow and you continue to like neglect or be in denial that it's there, it's one day going to manifest into something like maybe you blow up on someone.
Exactly.
Like, just even before it gets to that point.
Exactly.
You know, like address
No,
it.
but also like I understand like how that experience might be for a lot of people, because it is difficult to become self-aware.
Yes,
it's so
it is
scary.
hard.
Like,
it is hard.
the first wave of self-awareness that I experienced, I was 16, and I had just finished like a missionary thing. But the missionary thing wasn't, it was more of like for yourself, so that you can be better for others. That was what the experience was like. It was like a short camp. And then I started to come to terms with the things that I didn't know at the time I hated about myself. That I was so mean to people. I had the shortest temper. I was constantly frustrated, annoyed. And at the time I thought, this is just me. But then when I became self-aware that was not my heart, though. That's not the kind of person that I want to be.
Yeah.
It was so hard to admit. I was in so much pain, and the way that I explain it is, whenever I retell this story, I always say it felt like I was being stretched. Like I felt like I was being stretched. Like it hurts.
Yeah.
Like it hurts.
It really hurts.
And in the beginning also, I didn't know how to go about it. Like, I felt like I had no direction. I mean, I was 16, so hormonal, like so young, prepubescent, like, I mean, all these
just
factors,
all of it.
just growing pains in every aspect. Like, my knees hurt, but also my brain hurts.
My back.
My brain, my heart, my mind, everything hurt. Like, I felt like I was being stretched. But then, you know, I was so lucky because I had a mentor, and I had the most supportive friends who weren't in the same place as I was, but they were just so supportive.
Yeah, that's so important.
Like, they were, even till now, like, I think I'm at very different places with my friends. Like, a lot of my friends are not on the same, like, road
journey,
right now, but they respect and recognize the fact that it could happen, that it's possible, that's your reality. Like, they're able to separate that from their reality.
Yes.
Because as of now, like, a lot of them are just really trying to finish college, live that fun college life, which I think you should do, like, enjoy yourself. But because, you know, responsibility was brought into my life way earlier. Like, at this point in my life also, I feel like I'm ready to take on more. Yeah. Because I already progressed from that point.
And I think that's important, as like you mentioned, it was like the first wave of self-awareness.
Yeah.
And
the first.
Yeah, just to make sure that you guys know too, it's a process. It's not like you arrive one day, you're like, I am so self-aware.
No way.
Like, no, it's not.
No
it's
way.
like, you will never come to a point where you're completely aware of yourself.
You'll never be all-knowing. You'll never.
Which is kind of comforting, honestly.
It is, because, you know, you can read all the books in the world, talk to all the most intellectual people in the world, but you're still going to know nothing.
Well, that's encouraging.
I'm kidding. Not like nothing.
No, you won't know everything, and that's okay. That's completely okay. But I like how you mentioned that it's kind of like a two-way street, right? you have to do the stretching within your own life. You have to be able to be courageous. And I love how you said the stretch, because like my dad always says, like a rubber band has to be stretched first before it's released to go really far. Yeah. And so the stretching is necessary. The breaking is necessary. I mean, there are so many metaphors you can use when it comes to plants, for example. You have to like remove the old plants to get the new plants to grow. Like there's so much about like pain and suffering that brings maturity.
Okay.
And so that's important.
Let's talk about the pain.
Okay. Go.
For me, because I like thinking about this, and I want to write a song about it. But you know what? Let's talk about
Coming
it.
soon.
Coming soon. Like with pain, before, like for me, I didn't see why it was purposeful. It's like, I don't want to go through this. Like, I don't want the pain. Like, let's just do everything right. So, I did everything right, but I was still experiencing...
To avoid pain, right?
But I was still experiencing the pain. Yeah. You can't avoid it.
You cannot.
It's gonna come.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, if I want it to mean something, if I want to come out of this stronger, like, I have to transform it.
Yes, that is so nice.
Because you could just make it happen to you, which is fine too. Like, there are some people like, okay, I'm in pain, whatever, and then they never really deal with it any other way. So it's just like suffering. Like, they just accepted it and they gave up. But if you're going through the pain anyway, might as well make something of it.
Yeah. And it's all a perspective, I think. It's all based on the way that you look at things. Whatever it is that you are going through, you have the power to dictate, okay, how am I going to see this? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be a loss, or is it going to be a victory? And if you look at something like a hurdle or a problem that you are going through, and you look at it and you say, I'm going to go through you and you're going to work for me. That, I think, is like so mature.
And it's also it's a good reminder of the good in the world also. Yeah. Because I know a lot of people, like, usually when you're in pain, or I used to do that too. Like, I try to block it. Like, no, I'm not in pain. Like, I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Look at me. I'm doing well. Right? Like,
right. I'm so aggressive. Right?
Right? I'm doing well, right? Like, I'm fine. It's like, just let it happen to you. Just let it happen. It's a part of it. But it makes the highs and the happiness so much higher.
So much better.
It's just go through it. That's life. So if finding your purpose and trying to figure, you know what, I'm speaking as if, you know, people might think I know what my purpose is. I still, you know, I have direction, but I'm still figuring it out, like the rest of you. I'm just at a different stage. Yes. So what I'm saying is, like, if trying to find your purpose or trying to make meaning is so difficult for you and it's painful and you're not enjoying it in the beginning, just go through it. Yeah. It's normal. Yeah. Because they might think, how come today and for the past week I wrote in my journal but I'm still sad? It's like, no.
Parang walang progress.
Parang pangit yung advice.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
It's not like that. And it's some seasons, I think it's good to know that some seasons will be longer than others. Yeah. Like, there are some times where it's like gonna take 10 years or 20 years to figure out, like, a specific issue that you were going through or something like that. Purpose, I think, is something that, just like growth and maturity, it's not a process that's like, oh, got it, like, finished. It will continually change depending on the circumstance that you face, which right now, we're all facing this global pandemic thing. That's why we're trying to talk about, like, what purpose is for this specific area. But when things change, you're gonna have to revisit yourself and, you know, like, analyze yourself.
But that's
again.
why I say, like, if you're blessed enough to be capable to use this time or to make something of it, I feel like that's the right thing to do. Yeah. Because not everyone is afforded that same opportunity. True. Yeah. So, you know, like, it's also for the people who are not afforded that same opportunity. Because if you become competent yourself to and able to help, that's better for everyone else.
Yeah, that's so true. We all have to work together, I think.
So build on yourself, like, and because it's such an important thing to do. Like, it's going to take you to a good place in life.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's
I think
how you should live
the
it.
best, I love the statement of the best gift you can give to the world is a happy functioning you.
Yes.
Right? Like,
Yes.
who are you to say that you can work well, act well, sing well, video well, if you yourself are not happy? Like, it's...
What I've been doing in my life, for example, you remember before, like, not even before, until now a little bit, every time I perform, before and after, I'm just sad already.
Yeah.
Before I step out on stage,
Yeah.
I'm already like, I'm gonna suck. I'm not gonna do well. And I'm already like, my head down, like eyes down, like unhappy. And it hasn't even started.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking about others. So this year, my most recent performance, my makeup artist and my hairstylist came over, the works. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to make you guys proud.
Aww.
Like, I'll do well. Because I was like, I realized you're all putting in this much effort to make me look a certain way. You're trying to build my confidence by making me look presentable.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna do a bad job because
Wow.
I'm thinking about what other people think. It's like, no. Like, I owe it to everyone else who's helping me.
I love that.
I owe it to everyone else who's helping me be me to do well. And then it kind of like, when I was there, there's still so much to improve on.
True.
Like, I am a long way from where I want to be.
Yeah.
But it was the first time I performed and I wasn't thinking about after. I was thinking during.
I love that.
Like, every line of the song that I was singing. And my voice probably wasn't even super great. Or, like, people will watch it and think, no, this is just the same. It looks the same, like, from her other performances. It's like, no, but it doesn't matter because I remember how I felt.
Yes. And that's all you remember. You really don't remember all this.
And now I'm brave enough to admit that there is a lot to improve on, a lot to work on. But now I'm more willing and more prepared and more motivated to really, like, meet it head on. Like, now, like, I was talking, my makeup artist was here also yesterday. I had another work commitment, and Anton.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, like, I really owe it to all of you. Like, my handler, Ate Ruela, like, like, I owe it to you guys. Like, look how much you support me and believe in me. And then I go up on stage and cry. What a waste of time.
Yeah.
When you think of it that way, it relieves the pressure because it's like, I'm just gonna do well for you.
Yes, and that is love.
But that's why now it's just, I just want to love.
Yeah, because that is putting people above what you feel, what you the thoughts in your head, and that's difficult to put those aside.
Yes.
But the love for people, or even the love for the craft or the passion of it, it will override it if you give it a chance to. But you have to make that conscious decision, diba? Of like, this time it will be different.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes. Before I would go to whatever venue the performance was at, and during sound check, I'll sing like 3 lines and like already be sad. I'll be like, oh, I sounded so bad. I was just thinking of myself. Even for me, I'm being given all these opportunities. These big companies are getting me to perform for them. They're paying me good money to perform for them. And then I won't do my best?
Yeah.
Because I'm nervous? Like, who are you? Like, you're being paid to do this job. Do it.
Do it well.
And not just for the client, not just for the makeup artist, not just for the handler, not just for the supporters, but also so you go home at night and think, I made so and so proud.
Yeah. Or even yourself proud.
And I made myself proud.
Yeah.
And I got better. I'm improving.
Yes.
So now I want to work more.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
It is definitely a journey, but I think it's also that fact of opportunities will come. I that's no doubt. I believe opportunities will come for everyone, and it does come for everyone. But they're not always going to continue to keep on coming if you don't take care of them. You have to take care of those opportunities that come, because people will see as well, like, especially in our industry, there are many people who could do the jobs that we're doing.
Many. Anyone, you can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it.
So if I'm not going to take care of it, somebody else who is more passionate, more willing, more like willing to put down
more growth minded.
Exactly. Like,
you
give
know?
it to them.
Yes. But that's why I say, like, even like given our circumstances where, you know, like right off the bat when we started, there were people who were already looking out for us. You know, like there were people like who wanted to support us, people who loved us. You know, we're so lucky.
Yeah.
But because that's our situation, like to me, I tell myself, okay, I'll just deserve it na lang. Because I'm so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky. So now I'll just work hard to deserve it.
Yeah. I'll make it worth it.
I'll make it worth your time. The love you're giving me, I'll just make it worth your time.
That is so good.
You know, like some of the people who will be watching this are probably like 16, 15, 18 in their teens. And we're just 21. We're so young.
We are so
young.
young.
Or maybe you could be older than us and you know better than us. So like sometimes I like to point out that like this is just how it is for me. You know, like because for them maybe they're nervous that like they're not yet there.
Yeah.
But it's just take your time. Like
I
feel bad because I feel bad like sometimes like I think about myself like 2 years ago or like when I was 18 or 19 and I was already so hard on myself. So it's kind of like just remind yourself that it's fine. Like I'm 21 and I'm still figuring it out. And and instead of being anxious, now I feel so hopeful. Just bring back the hope.
Yeah.
Like just feel hopeful because now at 21, I feel like I'm starting again.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm figuring it out again. I feel like I'm learning things for the first time again. And that will happen at different points in our life. So like if at 18 you're self-loathing and you're alone at night and you're sad that you're not doing anything, it's like I was there and it gets better. It gets better.
It gets better, but it starts with you making the decision.
It starts with you. It's all on you.
Yeah. But no pressure, huh?
Yeah, but no pressure. It's all on you, but also you can ask for help.
You can ask for help. And that's another thing is, I think, together with the opportunities that have come around, we have been blessed with people that are peripheral to us.
Yes.
That, I love this word, it's called mirroring.
Yes.
So usually when people are, let's say, have a traumatic childhood,
yes,
it's because they were not mirrored properly. So let's say they run up to, let's say, a parent or something and want to show them this new thing that they made. And the parent says, "You're so annoying," or you just go away, like you're wasting my time.
yes,
They were mirrored wrongfully there because they wanted to share and wanted to show their parents what they had, but they were told that that was annoying.
yes,
So there's a mismatch in the mirroring there. And when you are able to find people in your life that will mirror you correctly, then you can properly be self-aware and grow. Okay. So if I say, this is what I'm going through, that's why a lot of therapists say, can I clarify, is this what you meant?
yes,
When somebody mirrors you properly and they say, I understand what you're going through, is it like this? And you resonate with that,
yes,
then you are able to move
Yes.
on and grow and get bigger because
Yes.
somebody is affirming that you are feeling this way and that's okay.
Can I explain also like with like our line of work?
Yeah.
Okay. I realized that like the people that I look up to the most are not the people who I think are unlike me. They're idols, right?
Yeah.
But it's because they're able to reflect the things that I have not yet been able to articulate myself.
Yes.
So like in movies, for example, like I'm more drawn to an actor when they say things that feel like a revelation to me, but also I knew that already.
That's so true.
Do you know what I mean? So like the artists that I listen to, like don't you notice like yeah, like sometimes we'll listen to songs for the sound and the vibe and whatever, but sometimes we'll listen to the lyrics and we're like, that's me. Like let's say like Taylor Swift feels the same way.
Yeah.
And she's thinking the same thing. You're more drawn to people because they're so honest about their human experience.
Yes. And you can see that.
It's all down to honesty. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
just tell the truth. It's at the end of the day, like when I talk and when my fans, resonate with the things that I say, it's not because I'm trying to show you that I'm better than you. It's because I'm trying to show you that we're the same.
Yeah.
And that's how we gravitate towards each other. That's why when you're honest, like you and I, like we can talk forever and we get along and we get each other's wavelength because we're both so honest.
We're so honest. Like there's no filter, which is
and whatever you feel, you say it as you know it, how you know it.
Yes.
Even if you'll use your analogies, you'll use your metaphors, and it makes sense to me because we get each other.
Yeah. And those people in your lives, I really encourage you guys to build those relationships.
Look,
because it takes,
they're there.
It takes intentionality though, because relationships won't grow if you don't.
But also some people think that they're not out there because they haven't been exposed. So I understand that too, and that's the thing. When I felt like I wasn't finding that in my life, in my friendships and the relationships that I was making, I thought, oh, there's no one else who will
feel me.
Yeah. And I was afraid. Like, I was like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's just me.
No, that's so true.
Like, maybe, because I was alone. Yes. I was doing it alone.
Yes.
And then, like, certain, like, significant changes in my life happened, and I started opening up to my bestest friends.
Yeah.
Like, 2 of my bestest friends.
Yeah.
And then I realized, wow.
It feels so good.
Not an ounce of guilt. No regrets. Like, these people get it, and these are the people that you go on searching in your life. That's the character that you look for.
Yeah.
And it's different for everyone. Like, I don't know what kind of solace you'll find from talking with people, especially people who are so to themselves, because I was like that.
Yeah.
But they're out there. So if you feel like there's no people out there that are like that, I'm telling you, they're there.
Just keep looking. And I think an important thing also to remember is that when you do find your people, it's a trial and error thing. There are going to be people who are not going to resonate with you.
but it's revealing. Like,
yes.
It's necessary. Like I have a lot of acquaintances and people that I meet and people that I talk to occasionally, but only a few know me.
Yeah.
And those are the relationships that I really invest my time in. So it's okay because, like I said, the contrast is important.
Yes.
Right?
You have to know what you're not looking for also.
Same with sadness and happiness. You also have to see, like, oh, this is not it.
Yes.
And then move on.
Yes.
And then, like I was saying to you before, like, my gauge usually is if I open up to someone and then I feel as if, oh, that was good. I'm not guilty about it. I don't feel regret telling you about it. That's when I'm like, okay, this is a good this is a good gauge.
So it's also about being like sensitive to what you feel after. I mean, it's a whole, again, as we mentioned, it is a process.
It's a process.
But it's a beautiful thing to know who your people are and to even know the types of people that you might not be looking for relationships with. Like, okay, me, for example, right? I'm still looking for my partner.
Yes.
And it's the same thing when it comes to those things. When you date, when you get to know guys or girls or whatever, it helps you when you know what you're not looking for.
Yes.
Because it narrows down your playing field, kind of. You're like, this is what I want, and this is exactly what I don't want. And it just makes it so much easier. So you will go through those conversations or those relationships that don't work. Treasure those as well. Like, that's what my dad tells me. He's like, treasure it.
I treasure it. Because I never think, oh, like, we're not on the same page, like, goodbye. No, it's like
perspectives.
But you know what? That was a friendship that I had to go through
to arrive to whatever it is that you have.
Yes, because it takes you where you need to go.
Yeah.
Just, you know, like, there should be a balance between the effort that you put in and you also just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. No, that's so true.
Like, be effortful and purposeful with the things that you do, but also, like, accomplish that.
Yeah.
And then also just let things happen.
Because there are things that are outside of your control.
Most of the things are out of your control. So when something happens and then you deal with that, you let that happen.
Yeah.
And then something happens, deal with it, let it happen. You know, that's life.
Life is beautiful.
But exactly, you know, because when I was so in my head, there was one time, like, a friend of mine, he just said, life is beautiful. I was like, yeah, it is. It it's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Life is so interesting how it unfolds.
It's all about the way that you look at things. I love that.
It really is.
I love that. Okay, I have a few more questions. Because we can go on.
Yeah, we can
We
go
can
on.
really go on, but I have a few more questions. Okay, so about like being disciplined, right? And knowing what you have to do and getting it done.
Yes.
That is so important because it's one thing to know what you have to do, but it's another thing to get it done. And I think something that you and I are both very diligent with is like having a structure.
Yes.
And like being disciplined.
Yes.
Putting it down, you know, getting it done, scheduling, whatever. But especially at a time like this when a lot of things change, when things are very uncertain, have you ever found yourself in a place where it was just not possible to be?
Yes. To have that structure.
Yeah.
Like where I
Like
was.
it's
I
like you're just like
felt-
aimlessly doing
yes,
things.
yes.
Like what was that like?
Because I talk about structure and I talk about discipline, but there are moments when I'm not there.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I'm so happy you brought that up because I don't want people to think I'm this like insane robot.
Yeah.
You know, like nope. Like
Yeah.
it still gets hard even when I do the right things. That's what I was saying earlier, right? So I'm doing the right things, but there will still be moments when it's hard.
Yeah.
It's I lost like for a while it was so aimless for me because school was canceled. I had no more work to do because usually like my work really involved the
Events.
performance.
Yeah.
Like now I can't see an audience
Yeah.
or you know like I just didn't know what I was doing. And then for a while it was like, so this whole year I should just not do anything. You know, like so there was a period like that, and then I tried my hand at it. Like I allowed myself to just be like that for like a week or two. I was like, but I don't feel any better, so might as well
Yeah.
just do the things that would previously make me better,
Yeah.
so that when I'm ready to take on something new, so that when I'm ready to go full blast again, like I don't have to start from square one again.
Yeah.
Like I'm still, even during my low points, I allow myself to feel it, but I'm still anticipating the moment where it's going to shift.
It's gonna
like,
get better.
I'm not thinking
Yeah.
this is forever. I'm thinking it's going to shift eventually. So like I'll drag myself through this workout. Like I'm dragging myself through the mud. Like I don't want to work out today, but like I know I will thank myself when I'm in a better place.
Yeah.
I'll do it, and then after you feel there's a release.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, like even just getting out of bed and taking a shower.
Yeah.
Like,
Even that is honestly like
especially when you have nothing scheduled for the day and you're just staying home. Like of course, like why will that be the first thing on your mind? Like I get it. Like I'm not a robot. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Life happens. Like there are periods when I stop being as responsible and as productive, but I'm always anticipating the moment where that will shift.
Well, that will shift because it will.
Just acknowledge that it ends. Like whatever phases you find yourself in, like it shifts, it ends,
Yeah.
it changes forever.
I love how you mentioned the word robot. There's
Yeah.
this one time I was going through that moment. Na
Yeah.
parang was like, threw away my schedule, stopped writing on my journal and all those things.
Yes.
And my friend goes, Hannah, you're not a robot. I just cried. Cried my eyes out. I was like, you know what? You're so right. Like, it's okay to be like
Yeah.
messy sometimes.
Exactly.
So, with that, I would just like to wrap this up because we can go on, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
But do you have any parting words for those people that are trying to find their purpose during this difficult season? If we were to summarize what we wanted to say or make it even practical, because you know how a lot of people can inspire you and motivate you, but the practical things are,
it helps.
it's what you hold on to.
And the people that I look up to, like when I listen to them and they say read this book and drink this drink, and like I'm
I will
like,
do it.
okay, tomorrow first thing in the morning I'm gonna drink that drink, I'm gonna read that book. Like I'm just, that's me.
Proactive.
Like I think essentially, because this is also what I try to remind myself, what I want people to remember is that you have time.
Yeah.
You have time, because I'm smiling thinking about it because now I genuinely believe it.
Yeah.
Before I used to think I have to rush everything. Like, I want to be this successful at this age. I want to feel autonomous at this age. Like, and I would always think, I'm running out of time. Like, I'm running out of time. And I'm 21.
Yeah.
No, and it doesn't matter. You could be 30, 40, 50. Like, you have time.
Yes.
That's, I don't know how else to capture that.
Yeah.
It's just that you
You
have time.
and enjoy that time.
Enjoy the
And-
process.
Yeah.
Even when it includes the more painful parts of it.
parts of it.
Appreciate it. Try to
Yes.
look at it from a place where it's like, how am I here? Like, this is painful. Just look at it and be like, it's okay. Like, eventually I'll be grateful for it.
Yeah. There are no mountains without the valleys.
Yes.
So if you are in the valley season, which sometimes we are, I personally think I am in right now.
Yes. Yes.
I am treading through this valley knowing that eventually, as you continue to put one step in front of the other, before you know it, you're going up a mountain.
Yes.
And then you'll see past the mountaintop.
So you have time, okay?
You have time. This season is difficult for all of us, and that's okay. But we start where we start, which is right here.
Start where you are.
Yeah.
Start right where you are, no matter how bad, no matter how good,
Yeah.
no matter how medium, like normal.
Yeah, nobody talks about the medium.
Yeah, nobody talks about the ordinary. Nobody talks about the mundane.
Yeah.
That's not that great too. So wherever you are, just relax.
Yeah.
You have time and you can do it. We
Yes.
can do anything we want to do.
We are cheering on for you.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I genuinely feel that way. So thank you for
Yeah.
doing this with me, because honestly, every time I talk to you, even when it feels like you're asking me questions and like trying to listen to me and like trying to hear from me, like I feel like I'm learning from you.
Aw, I learned so much today too.
No, like, because like these are things that I don't really get to talk about with many people, maybe a handful.
Yeah.
And it's special because like we don't even see each other often. I don't really know what's happening in your life. You don't know
Yeah.
what's happening in mine. But like when we get together, like we talk about things that are important for me to go on.
I agree.
Like it helps me go
It's
on.
like fuel.
It is. Like it allows me to stay motivated and inspired and continue to do the things that I do.
I
So
love
imagine that. It's so
Yeah,
special.
It is so special.
It's so
Enjoy
special.
those friendships. This
So-
is definitely one of them.
So you'll find a friend like that, I promise. And if you don't, we're here.
Yeah. You
We're
just
here.
listen to our podcast. So, Clau, can you let people know where they can find you, what they can look forward to
Yes.
if they want to see more
So
of
you
you?
reminded me that I have a podcast. So you can watch whatever is on there right now. It's
I'll
Mind
put the
Games
link.
by Claudia. You can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Claudia, because a lot of my more musical pursuits are there,
Yeah.
which is what I want to be known for.
Yes, of course.
And you can listen to my music on different music platforms. Just Claudia.
Exactly.
That's it.
Okay, thanks so
Thank
much, Clau.
you.
Thanks, guys, so much for watching this first episode of Kwentos with Hannah Season 2. And if you guys have any ideas of what guests you want to be part of the podcast, please do let me know in the comments down below. And yeah, let us know what you think, because this has been so fun. I'm
This has
excited to
been so
see
fun.
what the next episodes will look like. Okay, bye-bye.